You're listening to Radio Lewes, where the music matters. Welcome to the Rock Show. And this week, I'm celebrating differences. There are so many different types of rock music, metal, too many to name. So I've tried to make sure that everything on today's show is different. Some of it is very different. Some of it is pushing boundaries, let's say. And I am breaking my only real rule. I've only ever broken this rule once before, and that is don't use tribute acts, because mostly they're rubbish. But thanks to my music mole, this next act is on the show. Molly's been very busy, and he put me onto this. They're called Brown Sabbath, at least for this record, and you haven't heard that wrong. It is Brown Sabbath, and they are a Black Sabbath tribute act for this album. They're actually called Brownout, the name of the band. They come from Texas. But for this, they've changed their name to Brown Sabbath. And this is an amazing reimagining of Children of the Grave. you go, just a taster from Brownout presents Brown Sabbath Volume 2. I'm not quite sure when that was released. I'll have to look that one up for you. It's amazing. The debut, Brown Sabbath, in 2014 was met with critical praise. Pitchfork wrote that the rearrangements are so exhilarating that even without amplifier overdose, they make you remember why you got into metal in the first place. And further validation came from Classic Rock magazine, stating that the horn arrangements felt like they'd always been there. And while doing his Ozzy and Jack's American road trip show, Ozzy got a call from Sharon to say, you need to check them out. And he thinks they're awesome. This guy sounds just like me, ultimately garnering the band an invitation to perform at the Ozfestia in Mexico. They are amazing. They're from Austin, Texas, and they're really a Latin funk and breakbeat band, Brownout. But they do Black Sabbath so well. I'm definitely going to be playing you some more of those over the coming weeks because I think they're great. The next track I also have to thank one of our DJs for. It is amazing. I got this one from our King Mob. And it's very different again. This one's a cover again. The band is Revolting Cocks and Other Barnyard Animals. And they're taking on Do You Think I'm Sexy?
His heart's beating like a drum, 'cause at last he's got this girl home. Oh, relax, baby, now we're all alone. brother, neither one's complaining. He says I'm sorry, but I'm out of KY jelly. Never mind sugar, we can catch the early movie.
Oh, I've got to thank King Moth for that. That is amazing. Rev Cove, from their album Linger Fickin' Good from 1993, which came at the end of their first period. They're an American-Belgian industrial rock band. They began as a musical side project for Richard 23 of Front 242, Luke Van Acker and Al Jorgensen of Ministry. And they've had several breaks, but they've been around since 1985. They had a break in 93, got back together 2004, another break. But since 2016, they've been around. And if the rest of that album is any good, I'll play some more. And I'm going to look for whatever they come up with lately. I think it's amazing. Now we're going to go back to a bit of standard hard rock for you, and a band I haven't played in a long time. This is Volbeat and the brilliant Black Rose.
Counting days till it's over, my friends, till it's over, my friends, carol on. Counting days till it's over, my friends, till it's over, my friends, carol on. Feeling rich, feeling poor, feeling nothing more. Self-destructive on a roller coaster fireball. Cut her tongue, don't believe her what she says. She's all a hurt, cooking misery. Left my heart on a shelf for way too long. Sick and tired, picking up from the dirty floor. I saw the line of snakes that came to me. So when
current studio album, Seal the Deal and Let's Boogie. It's their sixth studio album from the Danish heavy metal band, and that was released on the 3rd of June 2016. So it's about time they had something new in the offing for us, at least. That's my opinion, but I do love a bit of Volbeat. Now we're going to try some Symphonic Metal. Trip to Germany. This is Andrea. Yeah, it was Andrea. And that one was Death of the Holy. And that's from their current studio album, Call of Destiny. They are from Germany, from Bielefeld, to be precise. And they've been around since 1994, breaking 97, and since 1999 they've been belting out this amazing symphonic metal sound. Now we're going to switch to some proper British heavy metal. This is from Scotland, and it's Vantage Point. And it's the single that I didn't have time to play on the Saturday live show. This is Tricky Dicky. Showing their thrash metal and speed metal side, that was Vantage Point. And Tricky Dicky was supposed to be released around about the same time as the Demonic Dinner Dance album, so around 2016, but it wasn't finished in time, so it was released just prior to Work, 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 their current album. And although thrash and speed metal is not my preferred style, I think that's a pretty good track and deserved its place on the Differences show. Now, we've had all sorts. We've had symphonic metal. Now we're going to go to orchestral metal, and there is a difference. And this is Nightwish and the amazing Storytime. From the Imagineerum. That was, I think it was Imagineerum. Let me just check. Yes, it was Imagineerum from 2011, and the last album to feature the vocalist Annette Olsen. She was replaced the following year by Floor Jansen, and that's the voice you'll hear on anything from now on. They are phenomenal. Working with a 40-piece orchestra, and that's why they have trouble coming out of Europe, because they have to get all those people on a plane and all those instruments have to be checked, and that costs a lot of money. I did hear a rumour they were going to work with the Philharmonic Orchestra to save them bringing their own with them. I don't know if that happened or not. I'll have to check up on that one and bring you an update in a future show. Now we're going to have something brand new from the AOR category of our differences, adult orientated rock. This is Hailstorm, and the title track to their new album. This is the brilliant Vicious.
You make me vicious. Watch as I make the pain my mistress. You can call me Miss Malicious. I'll dress you up in stitches. No, I cannot resist this. If it don't hurt, I get suspicious. I like to take the knife and twist it. Yeah, my love is sacrilegious. I'm not scared to admit it. This violence is delicious. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. I'm not gonna break. I could take all that you can give. This is survival of the sickest. I am not afraid. Bring the pain. Watch out, 'cause I'm vicious. And I'm not asking for forgiveness. Yeah, I'll make you go ballistic. Your torture is my business, and I won't leave a witness. I don't care if you hate me, 'cause you're gonna have to face me. And there's no use in crying. You know I would be lying if I said you could escape me. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. I'm not gonna break. I can take all that you can give. This is survival of the sickest. I am not afraid. Bring the pain. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. I'm not gonna break. I can take all that you can give. This is survival of the sickest. I am not afraid. Bring the pain. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious. What doesn't kill me makes me vicious.
The title track to the album, that is the fourth studio album, released on the July 27th this year. And I've already played 5 tracks from it. I'm going to have to lay off. There's only 12 tracks on it, and if I don't lay off, I'm going to have played the whole thing before we get to November. I've played the 3 singles that have been released, and 2 of them earned me a explicit tag. They are Black Vultures, Uncomfortable, and Do Not Disturb. And that one's a title track, of course. Next on the list is Gossard. I don't really know how you describe them, I just know they're a bit different. This is Everything Inside.
ready to go. Oh, keep it alive and believing. I'm moving the walls and I'm walking right in. I know where to go with the feeling. I'm thinking, yeah, yeah, yeah. Somebody told me, don't keep everything inside. Let it out, gotta free your mind. Take, even lose your pride. But don't keep everything inside. Come on. They can keep you down, but you'll get where you're going. They can shake your ground, but you ain't gonna drown. Oh, you're keeping the drive and the feeling. I'm moving the walls and the mess that I'm in. You know where to go with the feeling. I'm guessing, yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you feel it in you? Don't keep everything inside. Let it out, gotta free your mind. Take, even lose your pride. But don't keep everything inside. Oh. Take the wheel, take the ride, take the beat inside. Make a wheel, make a ride, yeah. Take the wheel, take the ride, take the beat inside. Make a wheel, make a ride, yeah. Don't keep everything inside. Let it out, gotta free your mind. Take, even lose your pride. But don't keep everything inside. Let it out, gotta free your mind. No, don't keep everything inside. Don't keep everything inside. Oh.
Gossard there from their 12th studio album Silver, released on the 13th of January 2017, and it marked their 25th anniversary, and the name is a reference to the silver wedding anniversary, of course. And just like their previous 10 albums, it shot straight to the top of the Swiss album charts, and it's spawned one single so far. Now, the next track, probably in its original form, would never have made it onto the rock show, but I do love this version of it. This is Fall Out Boy with their cover of Michael Jackson's Beat It.
They told them folks you'll ever come around here.
Oh, I do love a cover that's better than the original. That is Fall Out Boy, and from their full studio album, Folie à Deux, from 2008. Now, time's whipping along, and I want to get through some of these. I'm going to skip one and take you to Apocalyptica. I played one last week, as you'll probably remember. I love them. This cello metal, I've never heard it before. I think it's great. And this is their cover of Wherever I May Roam. From Helsinki in Finland, there you go, Apocalyptica, a cello metal band. And that was their 2016 re-release of Four Cellos Plays, or Metallica by Four Cellos. And it's phenomenal. I can't believe they didn't want to do it. There's a few bonus tracks on the re-release one as well, just to really whet your appetite. Now, an example of what a phenomenally good guitarist and a terrific singer can do with some great backup musicians. This is Chris Spedding from his Joyland album featuring our Steve Parsons on vocals. This is Message for Stella.
So strange from the start, written on my heart. I got a message for Stella. She's a maiden of virtue. She's a maiden of cool. And if you want, she will hurt you. She'll take you right back to school. She's got the stars in her kisses. She's got the breeze in her hair. You think she's standing beside you, well now she's away from the start. She was torn from my heart. I got a message for Stella. Message for Stella. You know the children all miss her. I hate to see them so sad. They wanna reach up and kiss her. Wouldn't feel that was bad. They're checking every airport. They're checking every train. They got the message of Stella. They wanna sing it again and again, black and gold. Heaven only knows we got a message for Stella. I wanna see her in chiffon. I wanna see her in silk. She's a gardener new now, like a little boy's milk. She's a distant horizon. She's the evening star. Come back to me, Stella, wherever the hell you are. I'm black and gold. I'm just a message for Stella. I'm right from the start. She was torn from my heart. Got a message for Stella. I got a message for Stella. I got a message for you. I got a message for you. I got a message for you. I got a message for you.
Oh, what a fantastic tune from the All-Star Joyland album by Chris Spedding and produced by our own Steve Parsons. Released in January 2015, and it features some very famous names. The Joyland track features Ian McShane doing voiceover. You got Arthur Brown, Glenn Matlock playing bass on one of them, Brian Ferry vocals on one, Johnny Marr guitars on Heisenberg, Robert Gordon's on there, Andy McKay, Andy Fraser plays bass on Shock Treatment. The list could be endless. It isn't. I'm just not going to read any more. It's a great, great album of fantastic stuff that just shows you what a talented guitarist can do with great backing musicians and vocalists. Now something brand new. I'm not even sure of the genre without looking them up, but this is Devilskin. I've fallen in love with Devilskin very recently, and this is the title track to their newest album, We Rise. There you go. They are alternative metal, apparently, from Hamilton in New Zealand, formed in 2010. And that's Jenny Scalander, their lead vocals. I do love to hear a woman growl. I don't know exactly what you'd call them. I just think they're fantastic. I really do. And I will be playing you lots more Devil Skin over the next few weeks. Now I'm going to play you something just for a giggle, because we've come to the end of the show, and I need to say you've been listening to Radio Lewes, where the music matters. This has been the Rock Show, celebrating differences. My name's Ben Vern Fuller. I'm going to leave you now with a wonderful Ailstorm, that's it, pirate metal, and a great cover. This is the Wurzels, I'm a cider drinker. Until next time, bye-bye.
When the moon shines on the coaches, young we're rolling in the hay. All the cows are out there grazing, yet the milk is on its way. I am a cider drinker, I drink it all of the day. I am a cider drinker, it suits all it crumbles away. It's so cozy in the kitchen, with the smell of rabbit stew. When the breeze